Hey, what's up, guys? This is Landon Rivers, here to show off my new strategy, which I call Play SimCity and actually commit to it. So, this is a ranked match that I had on Arabia versus Crabmaster. This was the guy's actually second ranked game that he ever played, and I set a really good precedence for him. I'm playing as the Chinese, and he's playing as the Celts. And so I have no idea how to play as the Chinese. I'm in a lot of I'm struggling quite often when I get started with him. I have no idea what to do, but that's just me. Looking over here, we see that he's got a pretty good build started, I think. I'm telling him in chat, hey man, I'm just going to make cute farms this match, no pressure. This is because the previous match I was against a guy named the Farming Simulator Expert or something like that, and he agreed to have just a cute farm match with me, and it never happened. He actually ended up monk rushing me and converted all my villagers, and it was a disaster. So this time I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to keep doing it until I can pull it off. And so here we go. So of course, the first thing to keep in mind when making a cute village is that your town center is where all of the bustling activity is. That's not where your farms are going to take place. So you'll see as I am going through. Oh yeah, no, I just the guy's just like not used to chatting, and so I'm like just checking, hey man, you know English? He said, oh, I'm gonna make cute farms, and he's just like, oh, good luck. And I don't know if he was, just memeing on me or what, but I mean, I'm playing normal. I just gotta. But honestly, why am I playing normal at this point? Well, it's because I need to get all this trash out of the way. I need to get this dumb elephants over here, and some of these straggler trees, and I don't know what he's doing over here. Looks like he doesn't have a gather point for his villagers set. I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm sure he's pretty good. But anyway, yeah, doing my best to set myself up for a pretty nice build. And you see, I always make my houses 2 house lengths away from, or 1 house length away from the town center. And you'll see that quite often when I'm building things, and I like to make little square blocks like this because that opens up a really easy spot for you to like put down a blacksmith or put down a university or a monastery, stuff like that. But here you see me start to put in my farms. And so I'm kind of going for the sort of like, commune plantation kind of deal. And we're putting up the little picket fences around it because we want to protect the farmers, keep the animals out, and just keep everybody happy. And of course, when the farmers are done with their goods and it's time to harvest, then they've got the market right next to them. So you see, that's why I left that block open over there. I'm starting to build kind of the same block of farms over in this area and finishing out the town block like here. I'm always producing villagers, and I'm always, making sure that people are on things. And I'm able to advance to the castle age quicker than I thought I would. Looking over here, this guy looks like he's walling off his base for some reason. I think he thinks I'm going to trick him. But then I start building a second town center, and I'm going to be doing much of the same thing. I've got things going at 8 times at this point and it's going to be like that for the rest of the match because, I build SimCity here, but I just thought you would like to see the process that I go through. So I've got 3 town centers, and I'm doing my darnest to keep everything going. And yeah, I'm in the. Is he still? Yeah, he's in Castle Age now. Okay, so I'm doing my darndest to make sure I'm pumping out villagers as much as possible and keep them doing stuff and building things. Here's an interesting thing. I'm gonna kind of pause right here to show you this. This is what I call the Castle Stronghold block, and the way that it works is where you have the castle, and based on the kind of castle you have, where like the main gates are on the art for it. So in the case of the East Asian architecture, the door is going to be on the right. But this is the build plan that I have. You have 3 sets of 2 houses, which are a house length away. You surround it in stone wall, and then with that amount of length, it allows you to put a barracks in a corner, archery range in a corner, a stable in a corner, or if you just like want to get creative and say like, hey, this is the archery castle, then you can just put 4, archery ranges, and that's pretty cool. But what you'll see, and I don't think I have one just yet, I don't have an archery range made, it's going to be much like I have for these barracks right here, which is I just take a couple of them and I surround them in palisade walls. Now what I would usually do is I would lay down a bunch of farms first, and I would kill all of the farms in case it was, grass or something, because I wanted to make the ground look a little bit dirtier to kind of simulate that sort of, worn look. But here's an interesting thing about the archery ranges that I always keep in mind, is that if you look at the targets right here, the targets are pointing that way, and I would never want to put archery ranges kind of, facing or going into a town, because you've got some recruits that are learning archery right now, and if they are like firing their bows over those targets, then those stray arrows are going to fall like right into the people. But since the targets are this way, that's safe. You can do that. Yeah, these guys are a little bit better trained, so don't worry about that. But yeah, you see, this is a pretty standard block that I have here. Is a blacksmith, a monastery, university, and market, and those are like the 4 kind of passive buildings that you usually get. Actually takes a while for me to get a siege workshop built out. Let's see what this guy has over here. Okay, so he's got a second town center. That's pretty good, and he's got a very nicely placed monastery, and I don't think he knows about the relics that yeah, I got all 5 relics, and so he didn't, I guess he didn't know where the relics were. But anyway, I'm just kind of continuing along, and I like to make sure that for all the pathways and avenues throughout my blocks that I have, at least a couple for everyone to go through, especially when it comes to eventually building out an army and all that fun stuff. But it's much just the same thing all the way around, and I'm really happy that Crabmaster has decided to commit to the meme with me. As I'm kind of building it out. I really like this area right here with the cliffs. I eventually turn that into like a kind of a modified castle fortress, and in the very top right, I kind of make that where my warrior monks are, and by warrior monks I mean I just put down a barracks and a monastery. But yeah, it's really starting to come together, and I've got way more res than him because I'm just keeping everybody active. I could have a lot more food, and I actually do end up getting a lot of food as I build some more mills and farms around here. But it takes a bit. I mean, the farming blocks are, let's face it, you're not surrounding a mill with 8 farms. It could be a little bit more efficient, but this is kind of cute. It has the farming houses. It's just kind of the way that my people wanted to build things out. Oh, yeah, this is where I build my second Stronghold castle, and I had no idea where he was. If we look at the fog mode and see where I'm at, let's see, how do I switch my view to be me? Shift right click to change player. Okay, so this is what I see at this point, and I don't even see the other stuff. I barely scouted his town at all. I don't know much about over there, but yeah, I didn't know that the stuff was here when I built that, and I said I'm sorry, and so that unfortunately went down. But I think that he's like starting to appreciate some of what I'm building into this. I see him building this wall over here, and that gives me an idea, just like, okay, we gotta divide the lines. And it's really cool because we're being really respectful of the ranges of our towers, and so you'll see that when I start to build a wall at this point, and I've just got a shit ton of villagers so I can do it, I'm just making sure that I stay out of the ranges of all of his towers, and he stays out of the ranges of my towers. Because, I mean, otherwise you're just going to get a bunch of attack notifications, and it'll be really annoying. But, yeah. Oh, yeah, and this is the cutest little dock, isn't it? Oh, man. That's so aesthetic. Oh man, the aesthetic. So continuing right along here, building out the stronghold block a little bit more. I still am not sure if I noticed that. Well, okay, this is the thing. Is like I can build this 4-house housing block right here, and I still have enough room to put down a wall, which is what I end up doing. And I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta back off for a little bit. And this is where it actually got a little bit tricky because when the villagers are building the wall right here, that is in the crosshairs for where the villager is standing, but not where the wall is standing. So I ended up having to just send over an army of villagers to do that one segment right there. Otherwise, it would never get done. And then I'm like, you know, tastefully placing some gates here and there to make some entrances. Yeah, as things are progressing along and the map just like starts to lose more and more resources and we really just fill out our bases. And let me turn the fog mode off just to see where he's at. Oh, siege tower. Oh man, why didn't I make a siege tower? Yeah, that was a really good idea. I should have done that. But anyway, he's showing me off. He's showing off to me this little, I guess it's a stronghold house. I asked him about it, and he says it's cozy. Eventually, he's going to have the landlord of this house build a zoo for those 2 camels over there, and just surround them with palisade walls, which I think is a really great idea. And I'm beating myself up for not doing it earlier. Yeah, I don't know where the wildlife is here. I don't think I really did much hunting. But anyway, we just keep going for a long dang time while we clear out the map, and I'm not sure how much longer it takes, but yeah, this is basically my SimCity, and this is how it turns out. So I can't make this go any faster, and I don't have a timeline to skip ahead. So how was your day? Did you take care of that thing that you were meaning to? It's okay if you didn't. I mean, I know a lot of things come up and you've been really busy recently, but I don't know. You just keep bringing it up every time that we talk, and I don't know. It's just I feel like it might get done now. I've just been waiting for it for a little bit, but I don't know. We get busy. I get busy too. I get busy building villages and towns and cities like this. So if you didn't get to it today, I mean, it's the weekend now. Well, it's Friday when it's Saturday now. So it's 2 in the morning. So I'm making this video on Saturday. So if you wanted to maybe take care of it over the weekend, since you don't have work, you don't have okay, it's fine. Just whenever you got a chance, that'd be great. But anyway, so we're clearing more of the wood, and I forget when he made the comment where he was basically suggesting, oh my gosh, I'm looking right now, he has an army that's already prepped up. He's got paladins and wood raiders and 7 siege rams. Yeah, he's getting all pumped for this. He doesn't have relic gold like I do, but I don't know. I didn't even think of much of an army yet. I guess I've got 15 Chokunus or Juganus prepped up, I think, right here. A funny thing about Juganus is it's kind of spelled wrong. I think it's spelled the way that Chinese was written in like the 40s or 50s, before when it was still the Republic of China. That was how they wrote out Juganu. But it's if you know like Dynasty Warriors, you know Romance of the Three Kingdoms, the Chokunu, that crossbow was invented by Zhuge Liang. And it's a very simple repeating crossbow. You just kind of pull back on it, and it just shoots out these little splints of wood. It's really cheap and easy to make, and so they've reflected that pretty well in here. But that's just kind of a fun thing. So it actually should be Zhugenu, and that's the Zhuge Nu. It's Zhuge Liang's Nu is crossbow in Chinese. So just a little bit of fun fact for you. You still have trees. I have one clump left. The world is stripped bare. Soon we will be nothing. We will turn into naught but animals at each other's throats. But he hasn't even gone for these trees over here yet. Anyway, oh yeah, here's my warrior monk area. But there's gonna get to be a point where I'm just like, okay, this guy's gonna make a move, and he is. He's the one who makes the first move, because you know I was just saying, hey, I'm playing SimCity, and but he makes the first move, and so I'm like, okay, I gotta pump it up, and I'm doing it right now. I'm prepping up. I'm going to every single frickin' building, and I'm queuing up swordsmans and halberdiers, and I've got way more trebs than him right now, and camels and all that fun stuff. Just in case, just a super well-rounded army, and so we're gonna clash at the very end, and it's really fun. Like it just kind of like ebbs and flows, or whatever the saying is. But that happens pretty soon here. Yeah, these were my final trees, and so we're about to see the battle really soon. Thanks for hanging in here. If you're still here. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more strategies that work on ranked games. Or maybe they don't work. We'll see. I don't know who won this. I don't know who won this game. I'm not revealing anything. That would be terrible. But anyway, so he starts. He brings over his treb, and I'm just like, okay, it begins. I say, fuck this world, and it censors me. But he goes for my forward castle. I don't have too much to defend that with, but I take out his own forward castle, and now we start to see things unravel. I've got my siege workshops over here, which are producing lots of scorpions, and arbalests and skirmishers are being produced. My archery ranges over there. Just like I said, I don't have any other like archery ranges in their own block that are facing into the villages. He's sending over his siege rams, of which he has 8 of them, and I'm not sure if they go in another front, but he did open up my gate over there, which is really sad. I killed a lot of my villagers before then. I don't think you got to see the suicide, but I basically just kept pressing period until they were all gone. And then pretty soon here I'm going to press the town bell and bring all my villagers into the town, because I don't want them to get killed by cavaliers anymore. So I guess I could have like killed more villagers to bring out more army and just kind of like totally overwhelm this guy, but I don't know. I wanted to see how it went, and maybe I would need some villagers still. But he's starting to send over his paladins and start to make a mess out of my trebs over here. Over here on the left front, or the western front. Never eat soggy waffles. I always get my west and my east messed up. I'm terrible like that. But anyway, yeah, now I bring out the siege onagers that I had in here. I had like 8 of them. And he's like, whoa, that's intense. And I bring over my Juganus to take out these paladins that are harassing them. And then we just kind of make quick work of their trash units. Meanwhile, down here, I'm starting to punch a big hole into their line right here. And I'm knowing that, okay, he's just got a bunch of hussars. He's still got a good amount of res. I've got double of what he's got, but he has like no gold. And I've got 5 relics, and I can just like sell a bunch of shit at the marketplace if I wanted to. So I'm in a good spot. I have no idea what he was doing here. I'm just learning about what he's doing, because I didn't care to explore it, because that's not what this game was about. But yeah, now my scorpions are really starting to show their gumption, and I'm pairing them up with some Juganus, and they're just melting everything that comes their way. It's going to be really hard for him to make any paladins anymore. And now I just start to send over my trebs, and we're starting to take out this castle down here. And yeah, it's really starting to come together. I'm slowly realizing more and more areas like this castle and this barracks, which have guys in them that I could eject and immediately have like 25 more guys on the front lines. But we're kind of holding our own at this point, and we don't need to make too much more. I've got lots of gold units, and you can see at the very top here, I guess that we're kind of doing way better. Oh yeah, it's at this point I also realized I didn't build a wonder, but I could build a wonder. I could just sell a bunch of food and have plenty of stone. Oh yeah, I was complimenting him on the university. He wasn't sure if he wanted to commit to the meme, like when he saw me doing it, but it was like a little too late. But he decided to make a university with a bunch of houses around it. I like to think that those are the frat houses around the university, and that's really cool. I'm very happy for him. But it wasn't a good university. They played a lot of tricks with their students. Financial aid was kind of bullshit. But hey, that's just university for you. Okay, so he's starting to punch some more holes in me with these trebs that he was able to sneak past me. But I've got some guys of my own on the way, and I've got this castle producing lots of trebs itself. Yeah, I'm still keeping a pretty cozy population, and he's only down to 27 guys left. Holy Moses. But yeah, taking out his castle, and that's probably gonna be, that was probably GG pretty soon. This was his last castle that he had, and his last military fortifications. I didn't know what was happening over here. I never explored it. Let's see, what can I see? Yeah, this is standard. So I didn't see that and how far out it went. Oh yeah, he makes the AI chat to me, but he's also like, hey, you forgot about this. You forgot this zoo over here. And I'm just saying, like, hey, not all the ranked games you fight are gonna be like me. Because let's be honest, this was really fun. This was super fun. He said you forgot the most important base, and I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta send everybody over, and so we slowly make our way over there. And we're just like, how was your day? And I'm trying to figure out if I want to repair anything before we go. But actually what I start to do is I build a wonder over here because I forgot to do that. But I gotta clear a lot of the guys or the buildings in the stronghold over here because they're kind of in the way of the villagers and they can't really build it. But I actually don't get through building the wonder the entire way. And yeah, he just kind of wanted me to kill this house over here and be done with it, and I think that's it, and he ends up getting defeated. I can't click the tower with the last villager. Guess that's it. Are the camels safe? Is the camel safe? The camel's safe. He was threatening to kill the camel. And so he said, you better get over here before I kill this animal, this peaceful animal. And I'm like, why would you do that, you bastard? So that's it. And so this is just to show you, this is the SimCity strat, and it totally works. And I think that got me up to like 750 elo. But you can try it yourself. Yeah, just keep in mind what I had. Oh, let me also talk about the stables here. Stables. Horses need enough room to run around, so you got to make sure that the little area you have in front of them is a little bit larger than you do for the archery range and the barracks, because that allows them to train the horses. You also need to put up the gate because you don't want the horses to escape because you're still training the horses. And that's it. And that's how you can make your own little cute village too, in Age of Empires. Okay, so once again, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm Landon Rivers, and you have a great rest of your day. Have a good weekend.